Hi, this is Anne from the Useless Crafter. All right, this is a special request that came through, I believe, on YouTube. So someone posted a comment, asked for help on this, and then sent me an email. Okay, I don't do a lot of Peppa, even though I get a lot of requests for it because it's a very difficult character to do for off the mat. And the reason why I say that is he, the Peppa the Pig characters, they are all just literally one big face and one big body. So to make it big, you're going to have seams running down it. Like there's no way we can make this at 30 inches and make it look good, even using glitter cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it as big as I can without making any seams, without having a seam down his face, because I think it would be very distracting at your, cake table that there's a gigantic seam running down the face this way or across. And that's really all it would have to be done if you want to make it really, really big. But we can still make it bigger than you normally would, like bigger, still off the mat, but just not crazy big. All right. So, and other characters that are similar to this would be like if you think of Elmo or the Sesame Street characters in general, like Big Bird. It's just one gigantic one color. So you're going to have seams all over. And even the Grinch. Now, the only time that the Grinch, I did the Grinch during Christmas is he had on a Santa outfit. So it broke. He had the like white here with the red top, and then more white of the ruffle, and then his legs. So there's pieces. So when you have pieces, you can make them, long, and avoid a lot of seams. But in this case, he's literally just a head on top of a round circle, right? But this is what I want to do. My thought process behind this is to make the head, and the way this head is, it's starting from this nose right here, not including this nose because that's a separate piece. So this one piece is starting from here and basically, sort of like this circle, right? So I want to make this piece no bigger than 11 and a half inches, and we'll see how big the body is. Now we know, we'll see how big the total image is. You can see just from eyeballing it or looking at it, his head is smaller than his body. So his body is going to have a seam. If we make this 11 and a half inches, that means his body is going to be bigger than 11 and a half inches, which means it's going to require a seam. But I think his face is so recognizable that you can maybe change his outfit into like a dark blue glitter cardstock. Then you won't be able to see the seams at all. And then it'll look, amazing. Or if you really wanted to, you can make him wear like red is always a good color, black, but I know that's kind of grim. But think of your dark glitter cardstock colors, okay? This light blue, you're going to see it, I think. Although I did Jasmine. I don't have Jasmine in here anymore because it was shipped out. But Jasmine's shirt had to be sliced and you could not see it. I knew where the cut was, and that was how I was able to find the seams. So maybe, but that was a smaller piece. I sliced it at the shoulder. So that's my advice to you on colors, okay? I do think that kids will still recognize it. So, okay, enough talking. Let's figure this guy out. So when you look at this guy, I like to look at the right hand panel. This is really helpful because when you scroll down, you can see that this image is basically all little pieces together without a solid background. So what I mean by that is everything is a separate piece, and you're going to have to you're not going to be taping it to something because there is no background. We can create that background, which is my method. I prefer that because it becomes more stable. All right. So we'll create that afterwards. We got to figure out the size first. So when I click on this, I'm going to ungroup it because it's telling me it's all grouped together. And then I want to isolate this face. So here's his face, and I can see that this is still grouped together because ungroup is an option. So let's ungroup that. And now I think we can see his face. So let's go up there and find his face. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so right now it's 6.5 by 5.5. Okay, So let's look at this. So 6.5, and this is total at 9.7. So let's go up to maybe 16 inches. And let's see what that gets us. Okay, so the width is 16 inches. The height is almost, I'll round up, it's almost 20 inches. Let's see how big his face is at this point. His face is, oh, we still have some room. His face is 10.7 by 9. So we can go up to 11.5. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Okay, let's grab all of him and change this to 17 inches and see what we have. All right, so let's see, where is his face? 11.4. All right, so well, I'm gonna stick there because I want to make him an easy, even height. So that makes him 17 inches across and almost 21 inches down. So that's a pretty good size. I mean, that's a little bit under 2 feet, but most kids are short. So this will stand out. It'll stand out next to the cake or the dessert table if that's where you're going to have it. All right, so let's get started. So this black background that I was talking about, in this case, it can be any color because you don't really have a black background. You just have a bunch of different colors all pieced together. So all you do is you duplicate it. And then as soon as it duplicates, we're going to weld it. And like I said, because this background doesn't show at all, you can cut it in any color. And I like to use 65-pound cardstock for this because it's the cheapest and it's the easiest to cut on your machine so you don't ruin your blades. So this is going to be all the way in the back. And then everything else is going to, when you cut it, you're going to now tape it onto this piece, this one solid piece. Now, the other thing that I see right here is we have these little lines. I don't think we need them. So let's go to contour and let's just hide all. So, oh no, we don't want to hide all because we want that for the tail right there. We want that hole. Okay, so let's move this to the background so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I send to the back, and then I'm going to put him right, that background like so. You see, you can't see it. So it's going to be in the background. We're going to put all the cut pieces are going to go on top of it. Okay. Okay. So that one, obviously we're going to have to slice out. Okay. So let's start moving all these pieces out to see if we're all good here. So see how this face is only half the face? Oh, I didn't realize that. That's why we were able to go so big, because the top half was cut off by the glasses. So, all right, cool. Okay, so this we can ungroup because it's the black, it's the glasses. Okay, and then the little feet. Oh, everything's ungrouped for us. Perfect. All right, so you see how everything is pieced together? Okay, so this body is too big. It's 13.4 by 10.4. So I'm going to move it to the left, knowing that I need to work on it some more. This we need to ungroup. And then you see each one of these little pieces should be fine. Okay. We need to ungroup. And then I think we should be fine. So let's do this. Okay. See how I tilted it? And so that changed the dimensions from it was 12 point something or 11.5 something, which would have been more than the Cricut could accept. But as I shift this, it is 11.2 by 7.3. And watch, I'll shift it again so you can see what I was talking about. This was originally how the face was. So it's 12.6 by 8.1. But I don't need to cut it exactly like this. I can cut it like this and take it off the mat and it would be fine, right? And that way I don't have to slice anything. So this is now 11.3 by 8.8. So I think we're all good. Everything else, okay. Yes. So all these pieces are all good because they're all little tiny pieces that your Cricut can cut. The only thing we need to slice is this big blue and this white piece. All right. So let's do that. Let's do this big piece first. So let me see if I can move all this stuff out of the way. Let me move this like this. And let's grab all this stuff and move it over just so that we can have some space. Okay, so to make this something that the Cricut can cut, this is 13.3 by 10.5. Let's get our square, and I'm going to duplicate this square because I'm going to use it another time. All right, let's make this big. And we pretty much need to slice this right down the middle. I mean, there's no easy way to do it. So I'm covering the part that I'm going to slice out. So with slicing, you can only slice 2 items at one time. So it's going to be the square and this shirt. So you grab the 2 items and you go to slice. And we don't need the slice results, the extra stuff, the black. But now we have the shirt in 2 pieces. It's 6.8 by 9.99 and 6.4 by 10.4. So perfect, your Cricut can cut it, right? All right, so now we've got these 2 things out of the way. So let's just move it out of the way and let's bring back our little outline. Oops, move him over here. Okay, so he's big. He's 17 by 21 basically. So that means he needs to be cut in 4 pieces, right? Because 17, you can cut 11 and a half. So, so we definitely need 2. And then 20.6, 11 and 11 is 22. So we basically need 4 squares. All right. Okay, so let's make this square, our first square. Let's make it 11 by 11. Technically, we can cut 11 and a half by 11 and a half, right? I really don't like dealing with half inches. That's why I cut 11 by 11. I use 12 by 12 cardstock. I am a little wasteful, but most of the time that half inch hasn't been a factor. Like it hasn't helped me reduce the number of pages that I use. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to use, I don't know how many of you guys use this, but we're going to use the position feature up here in the top. The position feature, you're basically designating exactly where to put something. So your X coordinate, you have your X coordinate and your Y coordinate. So your X coordinate is running along the top right here. This is your X coordinate. Your Y coordinate is telling you it's the Y axis. It's the one going up and down. And the way I remember it is the Y, because the Y looks like this, right? It's long. So it goes long and down. All right. So just a tip. Okay. So let's just put it here. I put the square there, and then I'm just going to round to the nearest whole number. So this is 4.61. I'm going to make it 5. This is 4.3. I'm going to make it 4. So what we did was we said go over 5 and then go down 4, and that's the tip of your square. So let's duplicate this square. I'm sorry. Excuse me. All right, much better. Let's put it right here. And the reason why I use the position feature is I want these squares to be completely flushed. I don't want any gaps and I don't want any overlays because we want to slice this thing perfectly so that when you piece it together, they all just like go up together and it's a nice tight puzzle. All right, so if you put your square close enough to the first square, you can just round to the nearest whole number. So this is 16.1, make it 16. This is 4.11, make it 4. So you can also do the math behind it. So again, this one starts at 5. So 5 plus 11 is 16, and there it is, 16. All right, so let's grab both these squares because they're already flushed and wonderful. Duplicate them. And that way we have a set of squares that you can just put here. And then we're going to move this. This is 5.0 something, 5 and 15. And again, we can check our math this way. So the coordinates going down this is at 4. And then plus 11, this would be at 15. And it's at 15. All right. Okay, so let's bring our background to the front. So I pulled in from the right-hand panel, go to arrange and send to the front. And what I want to do is I just want to make sure that I'm slicing appropriately. And what I mean by that is it's back, my throat. Okay. Where we're slicing this right now, this little ear will be cut off and you would have to tape it to the rest of the body and it's just a little sliver. So I don't want that. I want to then move this guy a little bit over. Like if I did that, this whole ear will be cut with this piece. So this is one giant piece and then this piece here, that's good. This looks better. What I don't want also is like, for instance, if we slice something like this, then all of a sudden this little tip of the fingernail would be like this tiny piece that you need to tape on, right? So you just want to be, in this case, it's not that big of a deal because he's just four big pieces, but there were still some areas that, you know, could make it better, right? So if we sliced it like this, it's a much more strong background for you to tape everything on. And it's easier. Sorry. All right. So let's slice this guy up because right now at 17 inches by 21 or 20 and a half, you can't send it through your Cricut machine. So let's slice one square at a time, right? So let's grab it like this and slice. Now, if you happen to grab more than two objects, like this, like if I did this, so you see I'm grabbing two squares and the image. I'm barely touching the image, but I'm touching it nonetheless. So when I do that, slice is not available. That's when you know. It's always user error, okay? Unfortunately. So, all right, let's grab this bottom part and slice over here. And I wouldn't worry about this little piece disappearing. I've noticed with off the mat, if you do them enough, you get glitches all the time in the system. But as long as my core four white pieces are still here, I'm fine. So what I do then now is I move my four pieces down and I usually keep them in order. In this case, he is clearly, each piece is very obvious where it should go, right? But sometimes you have pieces where it really helps if you keep them in order and you can go back to your design space and see, okay, that's where it goes. All right, so now we have everything. Let's save this. So this is Peppa's dad at 17 inches wide. And I do that because if for some reason I need to go back and redo it for, I don't know why, but I've had to do it a few times where I've changed things. It's good to know exactly how big it is. Sorry. All right, let's go to make it so I can show you how to group things. Okay, so here's one big white thing. Oh, that's nice. This second piece of white, they grouped it together for you. So even though it was four big pieces, we were able to do it on three. So that's all good. Here's the black. Now the black, the way it is, like I like to use glitter cardstock because I think it looks really cute. I would probably make it so it's like this. So that way it's more usable next time, the pieces that are left over. So if you use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, next time you can save, you'd have a 9 inches, 9 by 12. So 9 by 12, get it? I'm slow today. All right, so there's your black. These two eyes, I don't think it needs to be a different, like a dark gray or a lighter black. I don't know why it's here. So let's just move it to the previous page. So you click on it, click on the three dots, move to another mat, and let's move it to the one that we were just on. And you can even put this little guy in here because we don't need that space. And then let's go over here, grab this one, move to another mat. And We can put it there if we wanted to. All right, okay. This is his beard. Oh my gosh, so cute. So you can use scraps for this. If you happen to have a scrap that is 3x2, then for instance, you can move it down here. So these are good. This is a good one to like use your scrap. Go through your scrap bin and see what you have and move it accordingly. All right, let's see what else we have. The green. The green, we can definitely do something. This is a lot of wasted space, right? So you can grab this one, turn it this way, move it closer to this guy. Sorry, my face is in the way. All right, here we go. Move this in, move this one up. And this is just all dependent on what you have on hand. If you have, some other configuration, you can make it. But if you're using a 12x12 piece of cardstock, I would do something like this. So next time when you save this, the excess, you have 5, you have from here down and you have this piece. That's sizable for some other project. All right, here's your blue. Nothing we can do there. All right, your purple. Let's move me back over here. I would probably do something like this. So now it's, maybe even like this. So it's definitely a 3x2, 3 inches by 2 inches. And that's, pretty efficient. Let's look at this one. This one for sure, I would be moving up like this. So you have all this space for next time. And you could even do it like inside the nose. Because, oh, you know what? I would do this. Because next time you can have a pretty sizable piece right there. This would be good for like lips or, I don't know, some other off the mat project that you would use for pink. Oh, but we have this piece. So let's move this one to the other mat. And let's hope it all fits. I think it will. Okay, so that's, you'll have this circle right here that you can use again. And here's the light pink. Now the light pink, I think we can move all this stuff. So instead of going over here and moving each one of the objects over, you can go here and select 12x24 and then just move everything yourself up. And your machine won't know any better. You can still use a 12x12 mat with your 12x12 cardstock, and it's totally fine. So let's just make sure we can fit this in though. What else do we have? Oh, we still have a lot of stuff. Maybe I can't fit it. But I'm kind of determined to fit it. So let's see if we can. So remember, we can go to 11.5, right? So I think that's good. Can I fit this anywhere? Let's see. Maybe I can fit this guy over here. Okay. And I can fit this guy in here. But my tail. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can do this. This fit? No, that's not going to fit. What was I thinking? Oh man, that's a bummer. Really? Can I fit that anywhere else? Oh, I think I can do this. Hold on. Ta-da! Yay! All right, so that means we have 3 sheets of white, 1 black, a little piece of the brown, a third of the green, 2 sheets of blue, 1 little thing of purple, and then one dark pink and one light pink. Oh, I still have this little guy. Will you fit in here? Yes. Or if you feel nervous about that, you can put him up here. Woo, that was good. All right, thank you. And for the original user that requested this, if this does not meet your requirements, just email me. I will make it 30 inches or however big that you want it. But this is my recommendation. All right. All right. Have a good evening. Bye, guys.